Can you write a bounce back loan through bankruptcy? Hello there, my name is Andrey and I'm a debt advisor and company director at Insol Baltica. Today's Facebook Live is about self-employed and sole traders who've taken out bounce back loan and now are facing financial difficulties and unable to make contractual payments. Therefore, this Facebook Live is just a brief summary about your options, about something that you could do. Perhaps you are considering bankruptcy as the way of dealing with your unaffordable bounce back loan. Perhaps you have property and you're thinking that property may be at risk. Or perhaps you're considering different options in order to legally write off bounce back loan. Well, good evening to everyone who has joined me today. I can see Valentina and Igor are watching. At the same time, I can see Alexander is watching as well. Today's Facebook Live is in English. Therefore, it's targeted for those people who don't speak Russian or Ukrainian and who would rather communicate in English. I prepared information that I'm going to share with you today. I really hope that the information provided will help you as a self-employed to make a right decision, to make the right choice, whether you are involved in construction industry or perhaps you're a taxi driver or run your business as a self-employed a cafe owner. The information in this Facebook Live will be relevant to you. Therefore, I'm just going to introduce myself very briefly, and then we get to the point. The main question: can you write off bounce back loan in bankruptcy? And if you can, what are the consequences? I'm Andrey Smolenko, I'm a debt advisor, and I've been running my own business for the last 16 years, assisting clients in England and Wales as self-employed sole traders and company directors who are facing financial difficulties. I work with clients who, one way or the other, got themselves into debt problems and now they're looking for the best legal solution in their situation. Important to note that information that I provide you in Facebook Live is not legal advice. If you require proper advice, you can get in touch with me by sending a message to Insol Baltica Facebook page, is where you're probably right now watching this live. Then we will get in touch with you, my colleagues will write you, and we can arrange a consultation, half an hour, free of charge, no obligation, during which we can discuss your problems and range of solutions as well. Therefore, today, information is my personal opinion based on my professional backgrounds and the knowledge that I've gained in the last 16 years of being in the industry. Very briefly about a bounce back loan. The bounce back loan is the government guaranteed loan scheme that was introduced in 2020 in the spring, where small and medium businesses could have taken out up to £50,000 of loan from a different UK banks. They didn't have to pay for a year, then they had to start making contractual payments. Very competitive credits at that time. Many businesses, in fact, more than 1.5 million businesses in the UK have taken out bounce back loan in the region of 46 billion pounds has been lended through most of the UK banks. And if you are self-employed and you've taken out bounce back loan, then please watch this Facebook Live, and if you have any comments, you can write them in the box provided. 46 billion pounds, about 10%, about 4 billion pounds has been lended incorrectly due to fraud. But the banks made mistakes, or in some cases, the applications were fraudulent. Nevertheless, if you are self-employed and you've taken out bounce back loan, then you need to know about your options. Today, the option we're going to talk about is bankruptcy. Exactly, bankruptcy. And the thing is, from time to time, I come across clients who are saying that for one or the other reason, they think that bounce back loan cannot be written off in bankruptcy. That information is incorrect. Bounce back loan is exactly the same as any other form of credit, any other form of loan, and can be written off in bankruptcy, can be included in this process, and in 1 year time, the debt can be written off. What is bankruptcy? In a nutshell, bankruptcy is just one way of dealing with debts that you cannot repay. And as a self-employed, you've taken out bounce back loan, you spend the money, so you are personally liable for bounce back loan. It's very different from being a company director, where a company is a separate legal entity and all the loans taken under the separate company names. So as a self-employed, you have to return that money. Even though you had to spend money on business purposes, at the same time it's your personal responsibility to repay it back. And if you are struggling financially, there are a number of options you can do. First, you can get in touch with bank that's lended you the money and use pay-as-you-grow option, where you could apply for interest-only repayments or payment holidays for up to 6 months and extend the repayment time from 5 years to 10, which would half, I would say, the bounce back loan repayments. At the same time, when you are struggling financially in a serious way, where you are not only able or unable to make payments for bounce back loan, perhaps you have a number of other debts. It could be credit cards, personal loans, it could be your tax liabilities. All the things put you under tremendous pressure where you have to make the right choice. And if you decide to file for bankruptcy, which is your legal right, then yes, bounce back loan, together with other forms of loans and credits, and even Her Majesty Revenue and Success can be written off as well, just in 1 year time. There are some consequences for bankruptcy as well. If you are made bankrupt, you will not be able to be a company director for a period up to 1 year, so while your bankruptcy lasts. If you are made bankrupt, your credit rating will be affected and will be on a quite low level for 5 years after your bankruptcy is over. If you own property, that in many cases your property will have to be sold in order to repay debts owed to creditors. At the same time, if you own a car or a vehicle and you need it for your day-to-day life or perhaps for your business as self-employed, you are allowed to keep the car in bankruptcy, and that car needs to be up to the value of £2,000. As you can see, there are a number of disadvantages to bankruptcy. On the other hand, the main advantage of bankruptcy is debts written off in 12 months. So when you are facing that decision, what to do when you're self-employed, in my view, it's really important to understand a number of things. Okay, first, if you correctly claim bounce back loan, what that means? That means if your official annual business turnover for the calendar year of 2019, if you've taken out £50,000, if that was over £200,000. If not, that's a problem. Let's put it that way. The second question you need to ask is how you spend the money. Whether you can prove that the money received from bounce back loan has been spent on your business benefits. Have you paid your suppliers? Have you paid your employees, for example? Or have you invested money into your personal things, for example, buying another property? Those things you need to answer honestly, and for yourself, you got to know how what happened with the money. Why? Those two big questions. Okay, the first, for example, if you're a self-employed construction worker and your turnover, money that you receive in your business during 2019 calendar year were, let's say, £100,000. But in your application for bounce back loan, you had to make a declaration over £200,000 and you received 50. Then in case of your bankruptcy, it's very likely that the bankruptcy restrictions will apply. What exactly that means? The bankruptcy restriction, in a nutshell, means that bankruptcy consequences will be extended. So normally, for 12 months, you're unable to act as a company director, you're unable to receive a credit over £500 without disclosure of your bankruptcy to potential creditors. And if your bankruptcy is extended because of some problems you had previously, then just for a number of years, you will not be able to be a company director or obtain credit. For many people, that's not a problem. Most of the self-employed people can continue trading as self-employed or sole traders. So the bankruptcy restrictions have no effect on your business ability to continue trading. At the same time, if you overestimated your annual turnover, or indeed, if the money has been spent on your personal needs, or you cannot prove that the bounce back loan money went directly for the business benefit, again, very likely your bankruptcy will be extended for a number of years. At the same time, that debt will be written off. Even though those things that you could have done are called soft fraud, not the major frauds. There will be no criminal investigations against you, but they still consider it as soft fraud by the government. And this is why, in order to prevent possible future cases of soft fraud, this is what the government's authorities are doing in case of bankruptcy. So put it in a nutshell, just to summarize about bounce back loans in bankruptcy, then if you are a sole trader, self-employed, taking out bounce back loan, bankruptcy can be a legal and really fast way for you to write off bounce back loan. There are disadvantages about your property, about the car. You could own the car up to £2,000, credit rating affected, and you will not be able to obtain credit over £500, perhaps for a number of years. On the other hand, if you have no properties, you have no valuable assets, bounce back loan money has been spent, and what you just want a fresh start in life, then yes, you could look into bankruptcy in more details. Of course, I'm not going to cover all pros and cons, all advantages and disadvantages of bankruptcy, because there are a number of other options available to you as a sole trader. For example, you could think about an IVA, is individual voluntary arrangements where you make affordable monthly payments during 5 years, and you can get a partial debt write-off after that time. You can also think about full and final settlements, where you make an offer of repayment for bounce back loan in a lump sum. It can be done after a number of years of reduced monthly payments. So bankruptcy is not the only solution to your debt problems as self-employed. However, in my view, it's very, very effective solution that's in many ways been undermined by the credit industry and by the so-called IVA factories, because they don't make any money if they don't sell you IVA or individual volunteer arrangements. In bankruptcy, you just make one-off payments. You pay the government fee of £680. You pay your solicitor fee or professional advisor fee. And in many cases, that's all. Well, yes, there are some cases where you would need to make additional contributions to the bankruptcy. However, those cases are quite rare. And if you have just enough money to live on for 12 months, then it's very unlikely that you will need to make any contributions into your bankruptcy. So it's an effective way for a self-employed to get a relief from debt. It's an effective way for sole traders to have a fresh start in life. At the same time, bankruptcy needs to be approached very, very carefully. Again, in the case of soft fraud, you need to look into that option in more details. Therefore, if you are a sole trader struggling to make payments for your bounce back loan, perhaps you have a number of other debts that you have to deal with, get in touch with me. We can have a chat, half an hour, free of charge consultation regarding your options based on your personal business situation. And then if bankruptcy is the best way, then yes, I can help you with that process. However, if there are a number of options available to you as well, then I could recommend you using an alternative solution to bankruptcy. Therefore, this Facebook Live was specifically to answer the question, can you write off bounce back loan with bankruptcy? And the answer to it, yes. I wish you to have a successful week. I hope the information in this Facebook Live helped you to make the right decision, saved you some money, and gave you a peace of mind. Act. Don't wait until your creditors will start knocking on your door. Take care of your business, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next Tuesday at 7:30. All the best.